प्लीज स्टार्ट कीजिए।
Good afternoon, everybody. Now, I am going to present my paper, The Utility of Upanishadic Education. I am Debanjan from Jhargram College, West Bengal. First of all, I going to discuss what is Upanishad. The Upanishad is an integral part of Vedas. Charles Rockwell Landman, the great Sanskrit scholar, says the great practical aim of the teaching of the Upanishad is by exterminating in the soul all desires and activity, root and branch, to lead to the realization of the unity of the soul and the supreme soul. This realized it is liberated, and death can only do away with what no longer exists for the emancipated soul. The last fall of semblance of a difference between itself and the supreme. So here we find the some thoughts of Upanishadic education. But what the objective of the teachers tries to fulfill? Can it is be said that the aim of the education is directed towards integration of the personality of the pupil as an individual tending to the creation of an ideal citizen? Now we're going to discuss the main topic. The aim of education is to encourage both moral and spiritual interest of the young enlightenment and the spiritual kingdom. The true aim of Upanishadic education can be realized from the constant engaged in the quest knowledge and of the self. The teacher and the child jointly pray that the very familiar verse Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karava Vahai Tejasvina Madhitamastu Ma Vidisha Vahai. Kathopanishad Shanti Patha. It means, may the Supreme protect us, may He afford us daily sustenance, may we be given strength and the valor for joint enterprises, may our studies be illustrious and crowned with success, and above all, may there be no hatred and jealousy amongst persons following the same path. Now I am going to discuss every line. The Sahana Bhavatu, protection of the self, is the first postulate of the education. Education should give us protect us from undesirable impulses and wastage of energies. It requires self-control to generate the sense of self-respect, self-reliance, self-security. Security of self ensures the successful existence. Sahana Bhunaktu. Education should aim about the economic efficiency signified by the motto Sahana Bhunaktu and elimination of distress and poverty from our society, leading to social justice and welfare of the state. Education should prepare an individual for a useful profession for driving out poverty from the society. Third, Sahaviryam Karava Bahai. The cultivation of physical competence as embodied in the phrase is another basic postulate of the education. The Upanishadic seers are fully aware of the fact that physical efficiency is the cornerstone of a complete and successful life. Physical fitness can never stand a man in good state if it is benefit of mental strength. Fourth, Tejasvina Madhitamastu. May our study be charged with strength and illumination. It has been declared in the Taittiriya Upanishad also, Yuva sa sadhu yuva dhayakaha Ashishta Dradishta Barishta Taseyam Prithivi Sarva Vidyasa Purna Sat. To be a good student, vigilant in purpose and strong in body, of the world in abundance. The last part, Ma Vidvisha Bahai, should not be jealous. So the Upanishads teach us not only to be a good human being, in addition to be a good healthy citizen with good heart. Now we can discuss education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. We already know about known about this phase. He also said in his lecture that there is a mistaken notion among some that Advaita is likely to make men immortal because it abolishes the idea of majestic God. Such a criticism comes from men who are naturally attained to any human standards. On the other hand, it is Advaita alone can explain morality. Morality says, be unselfish. Why? A reply comes from Advaita alone. It tells you that whomsoever you hurt yourself. Whether you know it or not, through all hands you work, through all feet you move. You are the king enjoying in the palace. You are the beggar leading that miserable existence in the street. Know this, and that is why we must not hurt others. That is why I do not even care whether I have to starve, because there will be millions of mouths eating at the same time, and they are all mine. Therefore, I should not care that becomes whole universe is mine. Sarvani Upanishad, we found the sloka. In 4 pillars of education, the UNESCO, under the UNESCO guidance in 1996, the Deloitte's Commission report, the 4 pillars of education. Here we find that learning to know, learning to do, learning to live together, and learning to be. We found in the Upanishadic education that it is
हो गया
okay.
आई थिंक एक बार और करना पड़ेगा, बीच में ना एक आपका वो हुआ, पॉज हुआ है 20-30 सेकंड के लिए। हाँ, तो वो बड़ा ही वियर्ड सा लगेगा, वो बीच में कुछ आपने इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स बोले हैं और वो स्किप हो गया है।
अच्छा, ठीक है,
ठीक है, तो यही इसी पे कंटिन्यू कीजिए, वो हम काट लेंगे।
अच्छा, टाइम ठीक है ना?
हाँ, टाइम ठीक है आपका, ठीक है। तो मैं आप स्टार्ट कर दीजिए, कंटिन्यू। आप यहाँ पे बस ये बोल के स्टार्ट कीजिए कि आई एम बिगिनिंग वंस अगेन।
अच्छा,
ठीक है, पीपीटी ओपन कीजिए आप अपना। फाइन, प्लीज स्टार्ट वंस अगेन।
I am beginning once again. Now, I am going to discuss the topic, the utility of Upanishadic education. I am Dr. Debanjan, Assistant Professor, Jhargram Raj College, West Bengal. Good afternoon, everybody. Now we're going to the discussion of the topic. First of all, what is Upanishad? We know that Upanishad is an integral part of Veda. The great Sanskrit scholar Charles Rockwell Landman says that the great practical aim of the teaching of Upanishads is by exterminating in the soul all desires and activity, root and branch, to lead the realization of the unity of the soul and the supreme soul. This realizes it is liberated, and death can only do away with what no longer exists for the emancipated soul. The last false semblance of a difference between itself and the supreme. It is the aim of the Upanishadic education. But what is the objective that teacher tries to fulfill? Can it be said that the aim of this education is directed towards integration of personality of the people as to the creation of ideal citizen? Upanishad education, we know that very popular at the Vedic era and the post-Vedic era. But what is the relevance of today's life? So we can discuss that the aim of Upanishadic education to encourage both moral and spiritual interest of the young enlightened and the society associated with them to attain the spiritual kingdom. The true aim of Upanishadic education can be realized from the constantly recurring pair, justice, and welfare of the state. Innovative interrelation to persons engaged in the quest of knowledge and the self. The teacher and the taught jointly pray that Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviriyam Karava Bahai, Tejasvina Madhita Mastu, Ma Vidvisha Bahai. This verse we found in the Shanti Patha of Kathapanishad. It means, may the Supreme protect us, may He afford us daily sustenance, may we be given strength and the valor for joint enterprises, may our studies be illustrious and crowned with success, and above all, may there be no hatred and jealousy amongst persons following the same path. Now we discuss the every line of this verse. The first line, Sahana Bhavatu, the protection of self, is the first postulate of the aim of education. It is trained to protect us from undesirable impulses and wastage of energies. It requires self-control to generate the sense of self-respect, self-reliance, self-security. Security of self ensures successful existence. This is very much needed, very essential for us. Sahano Bhunaktu. Secondly, the education should aim the economic deficiency of the distress and poverty from our society, leading to social justice and welfare of the state. Education should prepare an individual for a useful profession for driving our poverty from the society. The thirdly, Sahaviriyam Karavavahai, cultivation of physical concepts as embodied basic postulate of the aim of the education. The Upanishadic seers are fully aware of the fact that physical efficiency is the cornerstone of a complete and successful life. Physical fitness can never stand a man in good state of mental education is your study features with strength and illumination. It has been declared in the Taittiriya Upanishad also. Taittiriya Upanishad also, Yuva says sadhu, Yuva sarva vidyasya purna sat. Let the young man during his tutelage to be a good student, vigilant in his studies, disciplined in mind, firm of purpose, and strong in body. To such a student comes the wealth of the world in abundance. This is the main thing of Tejasvina Madhitamasu. The next, Ma Vidvisha Vahai, should not be jealous. It is very important for today in every field. So the Upanishad teaches not only be a good human being, in addition to be a good healthy citizen with good heart. We can discuss that topic, the utility of Upanishadic education in the Swami Vivekananda's view. Swami Vivekananda said that education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. In his lecture, he said that there is a mistaken notion among some that Advaita is likely to make men immortal because it abolishes the idea of magistrate God. Such as criticism comes from men who are not naturally criminal and have not attained to any human standards. On the other hand, it is Advaita alone can explain morality. Morality says, be or not, through all hands you work, through all feet you move, you are the king, enjoying the palace, you are the beggar, leading the miserable existence in the street. Know this and be sympathetic. And that is why we must not hurt others. That is why whether I have to start, because there will be millions at the same time, and that's all mine. Therefore, I should not care what becomes of me and mine, for the whole universe is mine. This thinking is very, very essential for us, for our mental health also. And by this thinking, we can live in this society peacefully. The Upanishadic education, what says that we found the similarity of Dealers Commission report in 1920 of UNESCO. The commission prescribed the 4 pillars of education. 1, learning to know. 2, learning to do. 3, learning to live together. 4, learning to be. So the Upanishadic in Upanishad going to the educational system of Buddha and other, why maybe they are opposition of the Upanishadic education, but the main thing is very similar among them. Buddha said, Atma Deepa Bhavo. Here we find learning to be. Upanishad also said, Atma Kamo, Apto Kamo. Here also said. So also to make a good society as well as blissful world, we must get to connect with Upanishadic thoughts. Thank you.